Now, in previous videos, I said I did not want to name names when it came to certain other kinds of people, websites, blogs, vlogs, media outlets that have become somewhat critical of the Pope and of the post-Vatican II Church. And again, I'm going to avoid naming names, but I am going to speak about some characteristics of particularly what I would call extremist views, extremist movements that are going on around. I'm particularly concerned because a lot of this thinking is finding its way into the mainstream of some Catholic respected publications and websites. So the first sort of characteristic of one of these extremist people and bloggers and tweeters and the like is there's a great deal of anger in their expressions, their postings. They are very quick to condemn others, and of course there's been a lot of rankling against the Pope lately too, which is quite disturbing, I think. But you can tell that when they go after certain other priests or other lay people, they love to throw around the word heretic very loosely. And of course, one of their dirtiest words that they can throw out there is the word liberal. To clarify what I am talking about, you may want to look online for those stories that came out on Holy Thursday and some of the kerfuffle that followed. Allegedly, an Italian journalist, age 93, which, that doesn't, his age has nothing really to do with this, supposedly had an interview with the Pope, and he claimed that the Pope had said something to the effect that there was no hell. That came out quite coincidentally on Holy Thursday, when the Pope was going to wash the feet of inmates at the Regina Coeli prison. So I'm somewhat suspicious that this story found its way out into the public on that day. Now, the Vatican has denied it repeatedly, and I don't know if you've watched Rome Reports, but they they produced a video in which they showed how often the Pope talked about the devil and about hell and about sin and evil. Even though the Vatican has denied it, and again there has been, as I said, the video put out by Rome Reports on what the Pope has said about hell and the devil, there are still some more, I would call them reactionary responses that have also hit the Catholic press, certain Catholic media outlets that continue to criticize this false interview and make it sound as if the Pope is sowing confusion and preaching heresy. So that alone should, if you see who it is that is saying such things, you will no doubt understand what I have been speaking of. So my message today is to stay true to the Church and to stay true to Christ. Keep your eyes fixed on the mainstream of the Catholic Church. And that's why I turn you to the United States Catholic Conference of Bishops, to the Catechism, to the Scriptures, and certainly make yourself aware of what the Pope is teaching. I subscribe to something called the Message of the Day. Each day there is like a 1.5 minute video that summarizes some of the Pope's teachings, and I find those very encouraging and helpful. And do not focus on rumors or like inside stories or gossip or statements that are critical of people's character. People who tweet mean, name calling, that kind of stuff, stay away from those people. Block them on Twitter. simply don't engage them. They are, they're claiming that they're speaking the truth, but they are not. So in all this, we really should keep our focus on Jesus, focus on Christ. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life."